Emeka don't fall.
Stingy man want turn landlord because of woman shape.
In the busy, noisy streets of Ajegunle stood Emeka's father's house. A proud but crumbling, six-room self-contained that looked like it had fought World War II and barely survived. The house had one claim to fame, a borehole that supplied water to every room. To outsiders, it was just an ordinary borehole. But to Emeka, that borehole was his personal inheritance, his golden goose, his throne of power. Now, who is this Emeka? Let me describe him properly. Emeka was a young man in his late 20s with a head so shiny you could use it as a mirror to check your makeup. His body was slim, but his stomach had a stubborn roundness that refused to leave, like an uncle who came for Christmas and decided to stay till Easter. His eyes were permanently suspicious, always darting around as if someone was about to steal his imaginary millions. And his lips? Let's just say if Emeka smiled too wide, neighbours would swear NEPA had restored electricity because everywhere would suddenly be bright. Emeka had just finished his National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, where he served in one dusty village in the north. During service, he had vowed to his parents, "Mama, Papa, once I finish service, I will get one big job, raise money, and turn our house into a mansion. You will live like kings." But fate has a wicked sense of humour. One day, while he was still serving, he got the tragic news. His entire family had been involved in a ghastly motor accident. Emeka wept like Nollywood had hired him for a crying scene. He rolled on the floor shouting, "My dreams, my mansion, my family house project." Alas, his mansion dream was buried alongside his parents. After service, Emeka packed his Ghana must-go and returned to Lagos, specifically Ajegunle, where his father's house still stood with pride, cracks and all. The compound was buzzing with tenants. Mama Nkechi, the akara seller, Mr. Tay, the bus conductor who never bathed before 10 a.m., and Mama Chibuzor, who was always pregnant. Nobody could explain how. Emeka, however, was not just a tenant. Oh no, he was the self-appointed landlord's son, the prince of the compound. He had even started a small printing press business during NYSC, and now he was booming. Posters, flyers, wedding cards, you name it. Emeka printed it. Companies gave him contracts, churches begged him for banners, and politicians trusted him with campaign flyers, which, ironically, he sometimes used to rap suya. Despite all this money, Emeka was stingy. Stingy not just with others, but with himself. His shoe soles had more holes than Ajegunle roads. His shirts looked like they fought in Biafra. Yet every weekend you'd find him boasting in the compound. "Me, I am a big man. I have millions. I can build Banana Island tomorrow if I want. But why should I waste money when I already have a house here? Are you people mad?" The borehole in Emeka's compound was the real star of the compound. If the water finished too quickly, Emeka turned into a lion. "Who is using my borehole like River Niger?" he would shout, storming into the corridor with his singlet hanging off one shoulder. "Is it you, Mama Nkechi? Because I know your Akara customers. You people wash pot every 5 minutes. Or is it you, Tay? You that bath like hippopotamus?" The tenants would sigh. After all, Emeka didn't dig the borehole. His late father did. But in Emeka's mind, that borehole was his personal legacy, his kingdom, his nuclear weapon. One time the water finished before noon, and Emeka swore the compound was plotting against him. He went from door to door, banging like a mad landlord, shouting, "I will start rationing this water. From today, 1 bucket per person. Anybody that fetches extra, I will sue you to village meeting." Apart from water Wahala, Emeka loved quarrels. If a baby cried too loudly in the compound, he would shout, "Mama, control your child before I control him for you." If someone played music after 8 p.m, Emeka would yell, "This is not Quilox. Abeg, reduce that volume." Even if a lizard ran across the compound, Emeka would find a way to quarrel. This lizard entered from your side, meaning you people don't have manners. The tenants nicknamed him Chairman Without Portfolio because he acted like landlord, but still queued to fetch water like everybody else. Every evening, Emeka would sit outside, balancing on a plastic chair that had one leg shorter than the others. He would brag to anyone that cared to listen. Very soon I will buy Jeep. I will even put gate in this compound. I might even paint the house golden colour. But deep down, the tenants knew the truth. Emeka would rather die than spend money to repair the leaking roof in his father's house. Instead, he covered his own room's ceiling with election posters of politicians who had already lost. And so, Emeka lived on. Stingy, troublesome, and forever quarrelling over borehole water. Ajegunle's very own comic tragedy. It was a hot Saturday morning in Ajegunle, the kind of heat that made you question whether the sun had a personal vendetta against the earth. The tenants were lined up, buckets in hand, waiting their turn at the borehole tap. Suddenly, the water sputtered, coughed, and died. Buckets still half empty, children cried, women groaned, a silent tension fell upon the compound. And then, like a Nollywood villain making his grand entrance, Emeka appeared. He stormed out of his room wearing one faded Arsenal jersey that was so stretched it looked like it had survived 2 civil wars. His singlet was peeking out from the torn armpit. His slippers were mismatched, blue on the left, brown on the right. His eyes scanned the buckets like a detective in a crime scene. Then he roared, "Ern, I knew it. Somebody has finished my borehole water. Which one of you is fetching like River Niger inside your bucket?" Mama Nkichi, holding her basin, rolled her eyes. "Emeka, I beg no start this morning. Now everybody dey fetch water." But Emeka was not done. He snatched one little boy's bucket and measured with his eye. "Look at this. One small pekin carrying water as if he wants to bath elephant. Is it fair? Is it just?" Mr. Tay, the bus conductor, stepped forward, chewing stick in his mouth. "Chairman, calm down. The borehole don't finish. Simple." "That word, chairman," sweetened Emeka. His chest puffed. He straightened his jersey and shouted, "Yes, I am chairman here. From today I will be regulating this water. 1 bucket per person. Anybody that fetches extra, you will see my true colour." The tenants groaned. One even muttered, "True colour way no day wash cloth since 2 weeks." But Emeka ignored them. He brought out a biro and one torn exercise book. He announced proudly, "This is now the official register of borehole usage. Everybody line up, write your name, and tick after fetching 1 bucket." The compound erupted in laughter. Mama Chibuzor nearly dropped her baby from giggling. Even the lizard on the wall seemed to shake its head. But Emeka stood firm, biro in hand like a UN official, ready to monitor water like it was gold. And that was the day the tenants nicknamed him Borehole Commander. If the borehole was Emeka's throne, then the generator was his weapon of mass destruction. That small, stubborn generator, painted black and red, was the only thing that could pump water into the compound when NEPA disappeared, which was 80% of the time in Ajegunle. But here's the problem. The generator belonged to Emeka, and Emeka was stingy like tight trousers. Whenever the water finished, the tenants would gather around, buckets in hand, sweating under the hot Lagos sun. Somebody would whisper, "Make we tell Emeka make he on gen." Immediately a wave of fear would pass through the compound. Everyone knew that asking Emeka to on generator was like applying for a loan from the World Bank. Finally, one bold tenant would knock on his door. "Chairman, the water don't finish. Please on gen make we pump." Emeka would fling his door open, chest bare, singlet hanging like a curtain, and shout, "On gen KE? You think say fuel they grow for tree? You want me to be burning my generator anyhow? NEPA will soon bring light, wait." But soon could mean 2 days, 2 weeks, or never. So the tenants would beg and beg until Emeka finally agreed, but not without conditions. He would say it, "Okay, fine, but everybody must contribute money first. Generator no day chop sand. Drop money for fuel." The tenants, tired and thirsty, would quickly gather contributions. 200 naira here, 500 naira there, until they raised money for fuel. They would hand it to Emeka. After collecting the money, Emeka would nod like a serious accountant, count it carefully and say, Okay, but fuel price don rise. This one no go reach, so I cannot on it today, maybe tomorrow." The tenants would explode. "Emeka, you are wicked. Now you get gen, now you get borehole, now you still they chop our money. What kind of human being are you?" But Emeka would fold his arms and reply coolly, "I am a businessman. Do I look like I am running charity organisation? If you people don't like it, go and dig your own borehole." One time, the tenants managed to squeeze out enough money for a full gallon of petrol. They thought they had won. But after taking the money, Emeka suddenly announced, "Wait, oh, this my generator, it has fever. It cannot run today. If I on it, it will collapse. So let us wait till it recovers." The tenants nearly fainted. How could a generator have fever? From that day, the compound officially declared Emeka Stingy Landlord's son Supreme Minister of Fuel Affairs. And the Great Generator War continued, with Emeka guarding his machine like it was an oil well in the Niger Delta. One hot Sunday afternoon, the compound people had had enough of Emeka's Wahala. They called for a tenants' meeting right in the middle of the compound. Plastic chairs were arranged in a crooked circle. Mama Nkechi came with her frying oil-stained wrapper, Mr. Tay still in his conductor uniform, and Mama Chibizor rocking her 7th pregnancy proudly. Of course, Emeka arrived last. He strolled in wearing his ceremonial outfit, one over-ironed white shirt, yellow at the collar, trousers that refused to zip properly, and bathroom slippers. He carried a biro and one torn exercise book, like he was the Secretary General of the United Nations. The meeting started. Mr. Tay cleared his throat. "Oga Emeka, we are paying you money. Every year we pay house rent, but you are not using it to maintain the compound. Water no day, gen no day, roof day leak. What are you doing with the money?" The tenants chorused, "Yes, oh, we are paying money." Emeka leaned back in his chair, folded his arms and hissed. "How much do you people even think you are paying? Just 150,000 naira rent per year. You are shouting like you paid 5 million naira. Please, I beg. Nobody should disturb me. I am enjoying the money we are paying." The tenant shouted, "We are paying you, not we." But Emeka waved his hand like a king dismissing villagers. "My friends, calm down. Rent money is small. If you don't like it, pack out and go to Banana Island." The compound nearly caught fire that day with anger, but just as the shouting was about to reach peak level, the compound gate creaked, and in walked her. A new tenant, a fine girl, the type that could make even a stingy man like Emeka open wallet by force. She was tall, chocolate skin glowing like she was sponsored by Vaseline. Her front, massive, her waist, slim like she swallowed pencil, and her backside, Kai. It was like God carved it specially on a Saturday when he was well rested. Her lips were pink and soft, her nose pointed, and her braids long enough to sweep the compound floor. The whole compound went silent. Even the goats stopped chewing. Emeka's eyes nearly popped out of his skull. He stood up so fast his plastic chair fell backward. His jaw dropped, the biro in his hands slipped and rolled away. He muttered to himself, Jesu. "Is this angel lost in Ajegunle?" Mama Nkechi whispered, "Fine, girlo. Emeka go enter Wahala today." The lady introduced herself politely. "Good afternoon, everyone. I am the new tenant. I came to pack in." Before anyone could answer, Emeka jumped forward like a Nollywood bodyguard. Yes, you are highly welcome. No need to disturb yourself with rent or room arrangement. Just come straight to my room. You will stay with me. I, Emeka, landlord's son, chairman of this compound, hereby declare it." The compound burst into laughter. Mr. Tay shouted, Emeka don fall, see as stingy man when turned to landlord because of woman shape. But Emeka didn't care. His eyes were glued to the lady's curves like magnet. And from that day, the tenants knew. Emeka the stingy man had finally met his weakness. But who is this new tenant? And what would happen to Emeka's chairman status now that his weakness had entered the compound? Find out in part 2.
If you enjoyed this video, don't just stop here. Hit that notification bell so you never miss any of our new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Your love and your support means the world to me. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Stay tuned, more exciting videos are coming your way. Much love always.